Hello, y'all. We're here for another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes live stream. This is number 25, and I'm joined again by my host here, good old Maurice. My name is Ramon Azab, a.k.a. Remon. How you doing tonight, Maurice?
Good. Did I just hear a New Yorker use the term y'all?
I said y'all. Yeah, that's a Southern thing. You should know all about y'all.
Yes, indeed.
Y'all is kind of your thing, yeah. So what you're looking at now on screen is some footage that I had in my video earlier this week. Just wanted to kind of discuss the Chimera again in the live show. So, my friend Steve's in the chat. What's going on, Steve, brother? Never use a razor when you shave. Use the tweezers; it'll save your skin. Some guy walked up to us when we were kids and actually said that to us, on the street. So I grew up with that with this guy, Steve. Basically, just wanted to go over the Chimera and kind of discuss the ship's abilities and, also, some of the new updates that have come this week. We've got a lot of stuff to discuss. There's a lot of new things that happened this week, so I want to kind of talk about that a little bit in the content update, the content update on the 4th. They released the information about the Artist of War event returning and the Chimera arriving. So the Artist of War event returns and introduces the first 7-star capital ship to Galaxy of Heroes. In our first ever legendary ship event, band together with the heroes of Rebels and other pilots from the Rebellion to meet this Imperial challenge in Lothal space and earn blueprints of the Chimera. Can you emerge victorious? It needs, it's recommended to have 60 plus level. The Ghost, the Phantom, and Rebel ships are required, and the capital ship Home One is required as well. I believe you're going to need to have that at 7-star to get the legendary ship or the Chimera at 7-star. How are you looking as far as preparations for this event? Are you ready to get it or no?
Well, until you just basically let me down there, I thought I was doing pretty well until you just kind of, woke me up to that I'm going to need a 7-star Akbar ship. I definitely don't have that. But I've got all the Rebel ships except Cassian pretty much done.
Okay.
Pilots maxed out, so I got the ships. I don't have Akbar, and I'm probably not going to have Akbar.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to have Akbar either. I don't. I'm going to have to see. Maybe I'll get a little bit of crystals. Maybe I'll get myself a little pouch and make the purchases to get the ship to 7 stars. But we'll see. I haven't even done the event yet. I was saving it for the stream, so we'll do that here shortly. The Fleet Mastery event, you're going to power up all the capital ships you have currently in the game from 6 to 7 stars in these 3 different events. You got the Home 1 Fleet Mastery, which requires light side ships, the Endurance, which also requires light side ships, and the Executrix, which requires dark side ships. So we'll be able to get those ships to 7 stars here. I believe each ship was also added. There was a new achievement added to the achievement section for having each ship or each capital ship at 7 stars. They updated the Fleet Arena's rewards, and now you're able to get a crystal reward for a top 20 spot. What do you think about that?
Well, I think it's pretty crafty of them to, bring this into the game right as they're bringing out the 7-star capital ships. I like it, but it's definitely. I noticed today. I usually can just hang out in the top 10, no problem, play one battle and be done. But today I fell all the way down to the 30s in ships for the first time in a long time. So I mean, it's definitely people. It's got people interested in the ship part of the game, which the game definitely needs. Like no one really cared about ships. You play 1-2 a day, do your thing, and just kind of, don't worry about it until tomorrow.
No, you're right.
It's bringing a little bit of excitement, more stuff to do. So
the Phoenix Squad.
There's definitely not a lack of content.
No, there's no lack of content, that's for sure. And it's crazy because where was this stuff like 7-8 months ago, right? I mean, we could have just had this all spread out throughout the course of the year instead of all jam-packed into a 2 or 3 month period. But Phoenix Squad gets Zetas. So our Phoenix Squadron rises from the ashes stronger with new abilities. You can go ahead and discuss that here a little bit shortly. I think we're going to have Maurice go ahead and go over that as I do some of my territory battles. They did add a lot of the ships that were unattainable in farmable locations. So now the TIE Reaper, Cassian's U-Wing, Kylo Ren's Command Shuttle, and the Millennium Falcon are all available to be farmed. The TIE Reaper is available in light side hard node 9B. Cassian's U-Wing is available in squad Cantina battle shipments. And Kylo Ren's Command Shuttle is 9A hard node, with the Millennium Falcon being put in 5D dark side hard nodes. So you can start to farm those ships over time. Obviously, putting them in the hard nodes means it's going to be a long haul to get these ships to 7 stars, but at least you could start the you could start the collection process. I mean, I don't see myself having these ships done for quite some time, but at least adding something new to farm out of hard nodes is pretty cool, because there really wasn't anything else left if you've already finished having or getting your Shore Trooper or some of these other characters. I think Darth Nihilus is a hard node farm too, right? So, yeah.
Yes.
But if you have those characters, then yeah, I mean, adding some ships here to farm is pretty cool. They reactivated the Phoenix bundles, so you can get those $10 packs for Phoenix. Again, the Freedom Fighter faction pack is now available, giving you blueprints for the Rebel ships, including the Ghost, the Phantom, Cassian's U-Wing, Biston's U-Wing, Biggs Darklighter's X-Wing, and Wedge Antilles X-Wing. And they have a bundle for that. Not really so keen on these bundles. I don't know if they really make a ton of sense. It seems price-wise like it doesn't really make a ton of sense. But I don't know. What are your thoughts on the packs that all came out with these ships?
Well, I think if you're the ships, personally, I might have a very, very hard time investing in anything ships, because I can beat everybody on my ship shard, and everybody can beat me. I don't see me getting a new Chimera ship is going to make me unbeatable. It's going to be the same thing, just a different option. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to invest in the ships. I will say those little $10 Phoenix packs, if you guys are kind of in a crunch, to get everything ready for Thrawn, those are not a terrible investment, because they've got some shards in there for you, especially for some of the harder characters. Like if you're completely free to play, and Cantina Store is not the easiest, so maybe get Chopper, like a $10 pack for Chopper while you're free to play. But Chopper's not bad. Sabine's definitely a nice investment. I don't think you need Zeb and Kanan, because they're in Arena and Galactic War, but they reactivate either, because I think way back in the day I bought one for Zeb and bought one for Ezra, and they're not available for me. So I think they're one-time purchase only, no matter when you purchase them.
Yeah, but they're like I said, I don't know. I don't know if it makes sense. Like you said, if you're kind of starting out and you're just farming ships, or you've neglected ships for a long time, it's kind of a quicker way to get them up. But again, just being that I'm pretty good with most of those ships, I should be all right. But again, I think I'm going to fall short a little bit on the 7-star Home 1. So we're going to move in to do that event actually right now. So let me get started and do this Home 1 battle. Did you get a chance to do this yet? Is it difficult?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think it was any more. It seemed pretty easy to me, even easier than even the 6-star ship. It's been a while since I've done the 6-star Home 1, but this one I kind of breezed through it. Okay.
I think I'm gonna roll with. Biston here. Yeah, why not? Okay, so let's see. Let me take the Phantom out. Switch that up a little bit. Okay. They did fix some bugs. Also, they have like I said, packs for these ships that give you a chance of getting from 10 to 100 blueprints, which again, it would be necessary probably to get the 7-star Chimera before the event ends. So. That's definitely a strong possibility. They also announced that the Nightsisters are going to be getting a rework here in October. What are your thoughts on the Nightsister rework? I know you are a big fan of the Nightsisters.
Yeah, man. I've got my Zetas ready for that Asajj leadership. I just kind of want to see what happens with them. I've got it ready to go.
Well, Asajj has been your favorite for quite some time. I think you know, I think somewhere out there, Grande Patron is probably having a little dance as well for his Nightsister initiate. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not really heavily invested in Nightsisters, but you know, listen, for a Nightsister rework, not so excited. For a Nightsister rework with the addition of Mother Talzin, I would be excited. So if that's a character that does make her way into the game, then yeah, I'll probably take a look at leveling up some of the other Nightsisters or gearing them up to try to, you know, make some sort of a Nightsister synergy squad. But right now, just based upon thinking about, you know, the possibilities of a rework for Nightsisters, I don't know. I'm kind of interested, but you know, I'm also kind of not interested. If that makes any sense.
They need a major rework, like a
yeah.
complete overhaul, like this, like kind of like how they did with Savage. You know, like how they just completely redid his kit. Like all of them need that, except Asajj. Like Asajj is okay, Daka's okay, but the other three are awful, like borderline unusable in the game anywhere right now. So we'll see. I don't know.
Yeah, I kind of agree. But that's pretty much it as far as the notes are concerned. I know that they did also make some announcements as far as Guild versus Guild eventually being a thing. They did release some sort of a screenshot that kind of shows what the Guild versus Guild board will look like. What are your thoughts on that? Are you guys excited about that? You know, I know I am.
Well, me personally, I'm scared to even look into it because I'm so strapped for time.
Oh my goodness!
Being an officer in my guild currently, you know, it's just, I mean, just something else is just, like, let us. I don't know. I get a couple weeks for territory battles before they just slam another one on us. You know, like, I hate to complain about content, but I don't know. As an officer of a guild, you're swamped right now. You know, it's like a full-time job. You know, it's just.
Yeah, no, I hear you. This is kind of scary. You know, I don't know. I just got kind of like walloped by an ultimate ability here. I'm fighting the Chimera here, and man, what a devastating attack that was. That pretty much just wiped out my entire squad. I went from being like, you know, like ready to do this to like totally just like not ready to do this. I just got wiped out.
Yeah, I'm sitting here watching you, and maybe I just got like extremely lucky with some RG. Like
I don't know what the hell just happened, but I mean, you know, it just whacked me with that that ultimate ability, and man, it was crazy. I mean, it wiped out my whole squad. You know, so I don't know. I don't think I'm going to pull this one out. So we're gonna have to, you know, revisit this. But oh man, that is devastating. I may have to just jump into some.
Your ships aren't any better than mine. Like, we have pretty much similar ships. I just must have gotten super lucky.
I have no idea how I'm getting, you know, so ripped apart. But yeah, it's actually kind of devastating. Okay, let's see. I mean, Biston's Ewing is not going to come in here and save me. That's for sure. You know what I mean? So I mean, this is really bad. Oh man, it's this is like horrible at this point. I'm just getting destroyed. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to redo this. But all right. So we also got some Phoenix abilities. Oh man. Oh my god. I just got destroyed, man. That is bad. That is bad. Oh man, I need to rethink ships, that's for sure. Okay. Let's just not do that again right now. Let me go into territory battles and do some of my battles here, because you know, we're trying to get an extra star here in phase 5, so I want to get that done. How are you guys doing in TB now?
We got tattooed by that glitch yesterday. We probably missed out 15, 20 combat missions.
Oh, really?
People dropping out, like connection dropping, freezing. Oh, yeah. I mean, we still squeaked out, was it 8 stars. But
Okay.
there was no way we're getting 9. I mean, you're missing 20 combat missions. That's almost 10 million, TP. So there's no way we're going to get 9 of that. And I actually just had another one drop out a few minutes ago. I hopped right into that bottom territory mission, and it immediately just cut the whole game crashed. So, no good.
Man, that Thrawn's capital ship was devastating. I had no chance. That was crazy, man. I don't know how it was like. I mean, I kind of thought this was going to be super easy. Like I wasn't even like contemplating that it was going to be a challenge. I thought I might be able to auto it. You know what I mean? I was like, let me just play through it first. And the first two stages are, the first 2 waves are so, they're so easy to get through. And then the last one was just like, I mean, oh man,
Well, don't bring in the
He threw me.
Super squishy. What is that? The ghost. Don't bring in Ghost first.
Yeah, I mean, but
Phantom.
you don't even
Use somebody better. Use Rex. Use a better ship. Biston. Biston's awesome.
Yeah, but my Biston is not great. Your Biston is good. My Biston is only what? He's only gear 7, gear 8. I mean, he's 7 stars.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, the important one in that ship is the Pathfinder. That's where you get all that turn meter from.
Yeah, I mean, I have a pretty good Pathfinder, but that was unbelievable. But cool. So it's not going to be easy. I gotta work at it a little bit. That's fine. I'll figure it out. Just have to try out some different combos, and I'll get it done. But kind of shocking. So let's go over some of the new Phoenix abilities. What's the new Ezra looking like?
New Ezra has really got my attention. Let's have a look here. So Ezra gets a new Zeta, and what the Zeta does, on his assist attack, if you call an attacker, it's a guaranteed crit hit, and with the Zeta, it gives now an additional 50% damage on top of a guaranteed crit hit. When you call in a support character, I think it's 50% turn meter as is, and with the Zeta, it gives an additional 25%, so that's 75% turn meter. And if you call in a tank, it gives protection up to the tank, and now it also, with the Zeta, it's going to give the defense up. So the Zeta is going to add 50% extra damage to attackers, 25% turn meter to support, and then it's going to grant defense up as well as protection up of tanks.
Okay.
Which is, I think that's pretty. Well, you call in somebody like a Leia, or you call in like a Raid Han or CLS on that with Ezra. I mean, you're getting a guaranteed crit hit as well as 50% damage. So that's big time, and that's gonna. So if you guys got a lot of like Zeta Barrises on your shard, this isn't a terrible option because it's actually gonna it's gonna do enough damage to where they're actually losing health and not gaining it back. So that's nice. And you could, if you call in somebody like Biggs, which is cool, you call in Biggs and assist, he gets 75% turn meter immediately, and they can do his assist attack and call in Wedge, and then, maybe Ezra again. I mean, that's massive amounts of damage from that. So I like that a lot. I love Ezra. I've used Ezra in Arena for months, and so I'm pretty interested in this one. The next Zeta I'm interested in, as far as Phoenix goes, is probably Zeb. It's pretty much a PvE Zeta. What the Zeta does is it reduces his cooldown to the staggering sweep. It gives 75% bonus damage, which is huge because Zeb really lacks damage, so this could be nice. And then also 20% damage to enemy's maximum health if the target has no debuff. So this move all of a sudden with this Zeta gets tons and tons of damage, which is pretty nice because that's what the Phoenix need. Phoenix need damage. I mean, they're great. They're fantastic for territory battles, but not everybody has 15 minutes to sit in there and use the Phoenix and complete all 6 waves, So this is really going to speed it up. It also ignores armor if the target is buffed. And then it gain 50% critical damage if the target is debuffed. This attack can't be evaded, and Zeb gains 10% turn meter for each active Phoenix ally.
Okay.
So that was a mouthful, and I'm actually going to have to probably go back and reread it myself
to really understand what you just said. yeah. But Zeb's is pretty interesting actually. It makes him, I think, a lot better. Ezra's is one that I'm really intrigued in, to be honest with you. I'm thinking about, the possibilities of like an Ezra, Hermit Yoda squad with a Zeta Ezra. I think that could be really cool. It depends on, how effective Hermit Yoda ends up being, in Arena when he drops, or when I'm able to unlock him here in a few weeks. But I think that combination could be, really something to think about.
Well, so since you mentioned Jedi, we'll go Kanan next. His Zeta is not terrible. It dispels all debuffs from all the Phoenix allies. Grants himself a target ally foresight and protection up for 2 turns. That's pretty cool. An AOE debuff. Do we have, an AOE cleanse? Do we have another AOE cleanse in the game? Is there one I'm not thinking about?
No.
I mean, that was not bad either. But again, you have to use a whole Phoenix team to really benefit from that. But if you want to use like your Hermit Yoda and use Ezra and him, you could keep the debuffs off both of the Ezra and the Kanan, so it's not terrible.
Don't use Wings and Lando. You're gonna get sent back to the next dimension.
I just like halfway through that sentence, I felt real dirty trying to justify using Kanan. Don't use Kanan. Don't do that. It also grants all Phoenix allies defense up for 3 turns. Kanan gains 100% turn meter on his next turn when each foresight expires, and other Phoenix allies gain 50% turn meter. So it's not. I don't know. If Kanan was a better character, this would be a fantastic Zeta, but he's not very good. The only reason to use Kanan, right, is for the counter. Unique, right? His kid is really not that cool. Well, why would you just use Kenobi? We've got one more, 2 more actually. Sabine and Hera both got Zeta upgrade. My man Chopper only got an Omega upgrade, but we'll do that one last. Hera's is okay. It's called another target ally to assist. That ally's attack has 50% potency and deals 35% more damage. If the target ally is Phoenix, dispel all debuffs, reduce their cooldowns by 1, and grants 50% turn meter. In my opinion, this is another case of a character that really doesn't really do much at all. I would probably advise not doing that one.
So if you were going to stay away from one Zeta, it's Hera's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've spent countless hours trying to mod Hera different ways, make her different, just use her this way, use her that way, and every time I'm just extremely disappointed in what she does. Just her leader ability. Who am I missing? Sabine. Let me find Sabine. She is here. The final ability text is deal physical damage and inflict stagger to all enemies for 2 turns. This is on her demolish ability. The AoE attack grants all Phoenix allies offense up and critical chance up for 2 turns. Expose target enemy and inflict additional exposes on random enemies for each other active Phoenix ally. This attack can't be countered or evaded. It deals 15% bonus damage for each Phoenix ally. If this attack scores a critical hit, reduce Sabine's cooldowns by 2.
Yeah, Sabine's actually is pretty cool too. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't personally use her in my Phoenix squad, but
I do run Sabine, and I think she's actually awesome. I use her sometimes, outside of it in like in TB for fun. I wouldn't. I haven't had the cojones to try her out in arena in any type of formation yet, but I would like to at some point. Maybe if I eventually get to Zeta her, I'll try that out. But
all these Zetas are. Most of these Zetas are fantastic. If they would just make it, it's just the Phoenix ally part of it. If it applied to all allies or even just Rebel allies, I I would seriously consider Sabine's, because I mean that's a ton of damage she's giving the whole team. That's a good Zeta. If you guys like to use full Phoenix squads, there are lots of exposes. I mean, you could I guess you could make sure I read this correctly. I mean, you could expose one target if you know you got all the rolls. I mean, you could one shot somebody, come in there with Ezra the next turn with 4 exposes on a character. That'd be pretty nice.
Oh.
Again, I mean, Phoenix.
Oh man.
You know, Phoenix really lacked the damage. You know, and this brings a lot of damage to the table.
Oh man, this is gonna be a scary round right here. Let's see what happens.
All right, and last,
should I take out Snow before you do that? Should I take out Snow Trooper or Snow Trooper Commander here first?
Well, you need to either stun. Oh, he's dazed. Take out the Snow Trooper for sure while he's dazed. 100%. No, don't do the Commander, man, because then if you get the Commander down below 100% health, somebody else is going to taunt, and everyone's going to get protection. Kill that Snow Trooper with daze, yeah, while he's dazed, so he doesn't counter.
Well, this is bad right now. This is really bad. Oh, there's so much protection. Oh, it's done.
See, the whole chat's telling Commander, in my face. We got Harry Tasker and Rom. We got Harry Tasker and Rom saying, Commander, I told you, way different. And I would take their advice.
Yeah, well, it's pretty much over now anyway, so it doesn't matter.
No, you got this.
There's no way I got this. This is.
All right, so
we
learned a valuable lesson. Don't listen to anything Marie says for the rest of time.
Oh my goodness.
And then costing us the star. See, now K. Drew is backing me up.
Okay. All right.
So it seems to be a mixed bag of opinions.
Yeah, running that wedge team just doesn't cut it anymore.
Oh, he's just too squishy. You know what I mean? When you start getting to phase 5 and 6, it's kind of like the clones. You know, they kind of just fall all the way off. And,
that pisses me off. I mean, that just pissed me off. Oh, that sucks. All right.
Well, I'm sure you're not the only one that got 5 and 6 on that battle. So
whatever.
Switch Hera and speed before you start this Phoenix mission.
Yeah.
I've done that a time or two where you just.
I've gone in with Sabine lead and you know, and like I mean, it doesn't, you know, obviously there is no leader, so that's horrible. Okay.
While you do this, there is one more Phoenix. We've got Chopper, who did not get a Zeta.
Well, Chopper's your favorite. Here we go.
Yeah, Chopper. I'm a little upset he did not get a Zeta, but he got a pretty gangster Omega, which is fine with me, which I already had on him, so it's just a free upgrade for me.
It's kind of weird that they did. It's kind of weird they didn't do Chopper.
Because Chopper's so good already, man. He's like OP.
He's OP.
Basically, the Omega now gives Chopper a 30% chance to assist with another Phoenix or droid ally, which is cool. They add a droid in that too. Ally uses an ability during their turn, which is cool because if Chopper assists, he's using his basic, and when he uses his basic, other Phoenix allies random buffs. I think it's offense up, defense up, speed up. I think that's it. And also has a chance to reduce their cooldown. So 30% of the time, if he's assisting, you don't have to use your turn, and he's reducing, he's reducing cooldowns and granting buffs. I like this a lot. I was testing this out in my Galactic War last night. It's pretty nice. So if you have Chopper, you use Chopper, I would seriously consider and recommend putting this Omega on him. I think it's pretty good. I know Omegas are scarce nowadays with all these Zetas. I think I have 6 Omegas. This one's good.
You have 6 Omegas?
Yeah, 6 total.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that they keep adding more and more Zetas and don't add another way to get Zetas at all. There definitely should be
Yeah.
Like another challenge. You know, they should start doing like, you know, Zeta challenges like they did with the Omegas. Yeah, I mean, so
You know,
I mean, maybe
I would hope.
they don't have to be quite as frequent as the Omega challenges. I mean, they could be rare, you know, but you know, they can have a Zeta challenge that gives you one Zeta or two Zetas, you know. Maybe you can refresh it,
Yeah.
you know, with crystals, you know, that'd be cool.
I think if we were to get a level cap increase sometime in the future, they would add, you know, possibly an additional tier to the existing challenges. Maybe we might get Zetas there. Who knows? I don't know. It's frustrating, man. It takes you weeks to get 20 Zetas, and you're just like, yes, I got one. And then now all of a sudden you have, you know, 115 options to choose from. It's a little overwhelming.
Yeah, sure.
We'll see what they do with that. It wouldn't surprise me if, because you remember when Omegas came out, it was the same way. Like everyone, you know, that Omega event, the like, you know, those one day events that come out, people were just spamming those 200 refreshes to get more and more Omegas because there was no other way to get them. And then eventually they you know, threw them in the game. You get them from Galactic War. You can get them, you know, if you go on that eighth table of Cantina battles, you get, you know, an Omega every, you know, 450 battles you do. You get one Omega from that, you know, challenges, stuff like that. So that's all the Phoenix. If I had to pick a favorite, it'd definitely be Ezra. Sabines looks cool. Sabines looks real cool, actually. I didn't even really look at hers because I don't have her. I think I got her gear 8 or something. So
yeah,
I'm consider really long term.
I'm a big fan of the Ezra Zeta. I mean, he gets an increase in damage as well, which is pretty, you know, intriguing. And you know, again, since he has that Jedi tag, I think being that you know, one of the characters I'm, you know, working towards being Hermit Yoda, you know, I believe he'll you know, be a good addition to that squad. I'm not sure what the other pieces would need to be for that team. You know, whether it would be, you know, having two Yodas on the same team, or, you know, I mean, it's maybe having Anakin in there, or Ayla, or, you know, running a, you know, a Qui-Gon Jinn Zeta lead. I'd imagine would be the best way to go. But you know, I'm definitely looking.
I tell you what, man. You know, people kind of, you know, complain and gripe about these Phoenix ships not being too hot in an arena setting. You start slapping Zetas on some of these Phoenix, these ships might come to life. I haven't looked at the stats or anything, but you know, you get two Zetas on these ships, like two of the pilots, you put the Zetas on them, that ship could be top notch. You know, we'll have to see. I definitely don't have the Zetas just to be splurging like that, but I don't know, man. Oh, I just opened my game and I got 21st in ship arena today. I guess I'm gonna have to step that up. That's kind of harsh, man. Only letting the top 20 people get crystals at all. That makes it like super competitive and cutthroat. I'm gonna have to find an arena shard. I'm gonna have to do it.
Oh no. Okay, let's do this.
If you guys have any questions, fire them away. I'm back in the YouTube chat now, so I'll start gathering them up. Yeah, a lot of people are complaining about the TB bug yesterday. They did give us, what, 250 crystals and 200 for it. I'm not sure, I mean, how satisfied people are with that. But, I mean,
I'm pretty satisfied with it.
Yeah, unless you're right in the cusp of maybe 41 stars and, you know, the gaps in between the prize boxes. I don't really think
everybody's scenario is a little bit different, so, you know, it depends on how you know, how badly it affected you, really. You know,
like now if it's like, I think, what is it, 35 stars you get the full piece unlocked. So if like this is going to cost your guild, if you're going to get 34 stars instead of 35 because of it, then it could be a big deal. But at the end of the day, we're all going to open our boxes. It's going to contain 10 gold pieces, you know.
Yeah.
And everyone's going to be super disappointed after working hard all week. And then you're like, well, I guess that 1 star really didn't matter. So we'll see. I'll take 250 crystals anytime they want to give them to me.
I forgot how hard this this Commander Luke event is here. I mean, should I Should I bring in the full enchilada with R2-D2 and Han Solo and?
It's not very. I mean, and then again, I just said the Chimera or the Home One wasn't difficult. You went in there and got smoked. So let's. I don't know. I would use maybe save Han for your. How many more missions you have? I haven't been watching you.
I just have one more battle left after this.
Oh, they go nuts, man! Look at all the good characters you got. You got Ahsoka in there. You got Kenobi. You still got Baze, Chirrut. You got a full resistance team for that other mission.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna run with.
Yeah, if you can use.
I think I'm gonna run with Leia here. And.
Yeah, show off your goods. Yeah, show off that Ahsoka. There you go.
And then I'll run I'll run Stormtrooper Han. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, you're gonna go in here. You're gonna wax this mission, man. You're gonna destroy this. I think the very first time I did this, I over platooned all my meta characters. I think I beat it with like CLS, R2, and then like Anakin, like Yoda, and some other crap Jedi I had. It was awful. Kind of sucks you have to use CLS as a leader, though. I kind of wish they give you the option to use him as a support character. Like Rebels for these other missions, you know, if you're not in, you know, Alpha and you don't have all the Rebels at your disposal, kind of scarce, you know, as you start doing these missions. So it'd be nice to kind of use like a different leader.
Yeah.
Just have CLS as a backup, like a support character.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that kind of sucks that they take CLS away too, because he's a really good option for like light side or Rebels. So I mean, if you get forced to, you know, like it would have been nice to have CLS for that match where I used Wedge and Biggs. That I probably wouldn't have lost that match if I had CLS and Han in there. But you know, there's no use crying over spilt grapes. You know what I mean? Spilt milk, sour grapes.
Oh, Panda in there. I see. I got Panda on the Farm Boy sauce, man. Been hyping him up for 2 weeks.
With the tenacity lead? The tenacity lead?
No, not the lead. No, not the lead.
You talking about that Farm Boy Luke tenacity
Farm
lead?
Boy. What a waste of a Zeta that was. I put the Zeta on it. I put the Zeta on him anyway, and you don't even need it. He's actually really, really good for these territory battles. And you know, you're going to need him for the. What is it? The CLS event when it comes back, if it ever comes back, who knows? I haven't heard any announcement on that, but you're gonna have him. You're gonna need him gear 9-ish anyway, so you know he's definitely usable. He's a good option because at the end of the day, you know, if you're in the a middle of the road guild, you know your success hinges on these platoons because you start getting to phase 5 and phase 6, you really need those buffs to help carry you through. And you know, so you're gonna have to cough up the Bazes, you're gonna have to cough up the Chirruts, you're gonna have to cough up the Raid Han, all the meta characters, and then you're left with all these, you know, quote, you know, garbage rebels. But some of these rebels are actually quite useful. I love Scarif Rebel Pathfinder in this. Farm Boy is really good. If you have the resources to get your Hoth Scout and Soldier up to gear 10, gear 11, they're actually great too. Captain Han is fantastic in this. Like I looked at his kit originally, and I was not impressed at all. But then I got in there and it started dazing everybody with his basic. He's got a basic, you know, it's a basic with daze is awesome in this because you can just stick all these snowtroopers and none of them, you know, counter. So he's actually a really good character. All three of those characters, all the Hoth characters, you know, get that revive ability where if they die, they come back to life, and as long as you kill, you know, an enemy in was it 2 turns. They pop right back up, so you get like a get out of jail free card.
That's pretty awesome. Yeah, this should be pretty much in hand here now at this point. Okay. All right, so that's done. We've all earned the reward now. What is it? More currency, or that one's just more currency, right? Yeah, it's
Yeah.
20 currency per person. Okay, so all right, let's move into the final battle here, and I'm gonna go ahead and use an all light side squad. So I think my best option right now would actually be to go with a full Rogue One squad. So I think I'm going to do that. Because I have a Zeta Gen lead. I've got a Zeta Cassian. Got K2SO. Then we've got Baze and Chirrut. Yeah, let's do that. Hopefully we make it. Yeah, I would go with Resistance, but I think that my Rogue One squad's actually a little bit more developed, so I think it's a safer bet right now. Plus, the protection regeneration and and the revive also helps out a lot too. So I'm glad to have that.
Okay. Master Kylo asked, "What do you call a Zeta Maurice?"
I don't know. So, do we have any questions in the chat?
Yes. I'm trying to catch up now.
We'll do some questions now, and then when I'm done with this, we'll go into, the meta report, and then we'll get back to some questions again afterwards.
Okay. T Money in the chat here asks, what ships do we need for the Thrawn event?
So you're going to need the Phantom, the Ghost, and then the rest need to be Rebel ships. So you have the choice of, Biston, Biggs, Wedge. It can't be Resistance. It has to be Rebel. So what are the ships?
Wedge, Biston, the 2 Phoenix ships, and I guess Cassian. But unless you're refreshing, the stores, I don't think Cassian, unless you want to buy a pack, I don't think Cassian's going to be a feasible option in time for the end of this event. Because I've been pulling him. He's actually the only thing I've been pulling out of the Territory Battle store, and I just got him to 5-star yesterday, just in time for the Territory Battle, and then we didn't have any Cassians in the platoon, so I was a little disappointed. I couldn't use mine.
So you've actually been farming him from the Territory Battle store?
Yeah, and
how do you feel?
Yeah,
how do you feel about that now that you can get it from Cantina?
Well,
I don't really feel about. I don't really feel about it at all, actually.
I mean, yeah, I don't really. Whoopsie. I mean, you gamble in this game, just like you did when you bought your B2 Erodium pack.
Oh yeah. Listen, I know all too well. Okay, but right, let's see here.
I don't know. You just need 5 of the ships, right? You just need 5 ships.
You need
5 rebels.
5 ships, yeah.
And I guess if you have all 6, you can just call one in on reinforcement. Is that how it's going to work?
I guess, but again, like I said, to get a 7-star Chimera, you're going to need a 7-star home 1. So it's gonna require.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
It's going to require. It's going to require that, so that's going to be kind of difficult for a lot of people to attain because you're going to most likely have to pay to get it done before the event is over. So I don't know. We'll see.
I'm not refreshing that home 1 for 800 crystals. No thanks, man. That's too much. That's too steep for me.
That's a pretty steep. That's a pretty steep price for the refresh. But it's again, that's what you're going to have to do to probably get this thing done. Yeah, I mean, so I don't know. It's a legendary event, so it probably won't come around for quite some time too. So it's kind of disappointing if you don't get it to 7 stars. But
okay, well, while we're on this topic, K. Drew asks, do you guys think a 6-star capital ship is sufficient for Fleet Arena now? Do you think that extra reinforcement slot might be the difference between victory and defeat?
I actually posed this question a little bit earlier today, and I was wondering myself, what people thought about this. I mean, how relevant is the other star, right? Like, I mean, like, is there going to be a huge difference between a 6-star or a 7-star capital ship? We've never had a 6-star. We've never had 7-star capital ships before in the game, so it's kind of impossible to really know. So we're going to have to see here, but in my opinion, just like basically what I think. I mean, oh my God, we got a K2SO that's on speed here.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah. He's just this happened to me once before too, but yeah. I mean, it's kind of interesting to see, like, how effective the additional star is going to be on ships. Is going to be the same as like characters, like 6 versus 7-star, but it's too early to know. I mean, we'll have to see, but in my opinion, I think it won't be as huge of a difference as you may want to as you may think it is. So I think ultimately, I think that you're still going to be able to compete with 7-star ships having a 6-star capital ship. So.
Well, a lot hinges on if you can beat if you can beat the opposing team without calling a reinforcement or only calling 1 or 2 reinforcements, I don't think it's going to hurt you at all. Because I mean, because the last reinforcement, for the most part, for most people, is going to be a real average ship. It's not going to be like a top tier ship. It's going to be somebody's like Geonosian soldier that's just kind of their next best ship. I don't think they're not going to have a meta ship in there, like high ranking ship. It's going to be somebody's leftovers in that final slot. I would think it would be for me, but
right. Okay, Panda, where am I supposed to deploy here? I think bottom, right? Well, we all know where we're deploying our ships, right? It's going to be the same spot every time.
All right, the next question comes from Tony Risters. Do you guys think I should Zeta BB-8 for the resistance assist? I have 12 Zetas already, so all the big ones are done. Or should I just wait and hoard Zeta mats?
Can you repeat the question?
Basically, Tony Richards just wants to know if he should Zeta his BB-8 for the resistance assist attack, or his ability. Resistance on BB-8, yay or nay?
I don't think so. I mean, is the resistance his like arena squad, or is it just he's trying to use it for fun, like for TB and stuff?
I don't know. I didn't get a full breakdown. That's all he asked.
Yeah, I would say unless you're using it for arena, of course, if you're using it or you're trying to use an arena squad, you want to Zeta everything on your arena team. But what I'm saying is that if you're just going to try to Zeta BB-8 to make your resistance squad better in PvE content, I don't know. I don't find BB-8 Zetas to be that fantastic. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
No, I think if it was guaranteed to call resistance trooper every time, then definitely. But I mean, if you're calling in resistance pilots or Finn or Poe on the assist, I mean, there's no extra exposed there. There's just
right.
Especially if you call Poe, that's minimum damage. You
Right.
might get offense down. I think it's a decent Zeta, but I mean, you're going to do well in the P2, P4, some of these territory battles.
I just think there's other Zetas. I just think there's other Zetas that come first.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I mean, if you luck out and it calls resistance trooper, over and over and over again, then it's fantastic because he's exposing on that basic assist. But then it's worth it. But
I like BB-8. Listen, don't get me wrong. I like BB-8 overall. I mean, I think he's a great character for TB. He's a great character for AAT. But again, I think that's really all he is, though, is a character for TB and a character for AAT right now. So that will or probably will change at some point. We're going to get more resistance characters, and the meta could change at any time. So down the road, BB-8 could be, an essential arena character, but just right now, I don't feel that way about him. So
yeah, save your Zetas, man. I mean, we talked about those Nightsister reworks. I would imagine with a new movie coming out, there's like he just touched on, there's going to be more Resistance characters, more First Order characters. I would sit on it.
That's just my opinion.
Don't listen to just us. Ask everyone. Ask people on Discord. Ask people on the forum. I don't have much experience with him. Mine's only Gear 8. I don't have any purple mats to give him, so he's just hanging out with like level 5 abilities.
Okay, it's time for the meta report. So we've got the top 10 leaders at rank 1. It's no shocker that Commander Luke Skywalker is still atop the leaderboards here with a dominant about almost, I'd say, 70% of the pie, and he's followed by General Kenobi, and then Rex, and then there's about 5% that basically takes up the remainder, which is Grand Admiral Thrawn, Akbar, Qui-Gon Jinn, Wedge Antilles, Finn, Phasma, and Grand Moff Tarkin. So Phasma is working her way into the top 10 leaders at rank 1, but not much has changed. So I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Did you say Phasma?
Phasma is number 9 right now on the list. She's the 9th best leader right now in the game.
It's going to be Commander Luke for the foreseeable future, so not really too much to talk about, right?
Not really much to talk about, no. All right, let's go to the top 10 squad members at rank 1. And again, it's R2-D2 followed by Commander Luke with General Kenobi, Han Solo right behind him with Grand Admiral Thrawn right there behind him, and Nihilus again is getting I think a little bit more use. Baze and Chirrut, Barriss Offee, and Rex all the way at the end there, kind of wrapping around the full top 10. But definitely just continuing to see the growth of Han Solo. Luke and R2-D2 and Kenobi have been in the same place now for a few weeks, and Grand Admiral Thrawn is kind of holding there. It doesn't look like he's really dropping as much, because he is definitely a character that you can use in almost any squad right now, or any meta squad right now. Nihilus is there too, pretty much the same type of character, a utility character that can be used with Thrawn or instead of Thrawn in let's say a Commander Luke led team. And then you've got those guys who are running the Kenobi leads that are holding down the Zeta Barriss Offee, occasionally running a Baze and Chirrut on that squad as well. And then you have the other people that are still holding on strong to that Rex lead, and using Rex as a squad member as well. So again, overall, not much has changed. Still similar characters and similar spots. The meta really hasn't moved much in the last few weeks. But we'll keep on top of that to see if anything changes next week. So let's go back to the gameplay here. Now I'm going to try this. I'm going to try this Home 1 event again, and this time I might switch it up a little bit. Okay, so I think I'm going to take the Ghost out. I think I'm going to run the Rex ship. Take that out. Hey, that's probably best for right now. Okay. What's this?
Is your Plo Koon decent, or is it pretty? No, never mind. It's not very good, is it?
No.
Plo Koon.
No, I'm gonna throw in actually. Let me see here.
Put Biston in your starting lineup so you get an extra target lock for Biggs to taunt.
Put Biston in the starting lineup.
Yeah, Biston. Isn't that Biston here in the bottom in your reinforcements?
Yeah, but like I said, he's not that great.
Yeah, but I mean, he's got a guaranteed, unabatable target lock. So I mean, that will at least get Biggs taunting.
Okay.
That's kind of what happened the first time. I mean, your Biggs never taunted, right?
Yep. All right, so we'll go here. That's what I'll run for now. Try it out again. Let's go back to the questions. If you guys have any questions you'd like asked on the stream, please type them into the live chat, and we'll do our best to get to them here before the end.
All right, while we're on ships, excuse me, Tim Fisher asks, on my shard, every team in the top 30 has 5s, Vader, and TIE Fighter. Is every shard like this? Yes, it is.
Yes.
Unfortunately. But if you're struggling with TIE Fighter, Poe's ship is worth investing in. You pull him off the bench, and even if he's undergeared, you can use that power-up ability. You can generally one-shot him out of the sky with Poe. If you stick him with Biston or Vader, anybody that whose basic attack can't be evaded, you stick him once or twice, and Poe can finish him off out of reserve. I love Poe's ship; it's awesome.
Yeah, agreed. Poe's ship is probably one of the best.
Let's see what else we got. Panda saying target TIE Reaper first.
Target TIE Reaper first. Okay.
I don't know if that's helpful at all. I'm not really watching the screen.
We'll find out. Well, right now I'm not there yet. I'm still in the second battle. So if when I get to the third stage where I fight the Chimera, that's where I'll find out. We'll take a closer look at what he's talking about here.
Yeah, and going back to that BB-8 question Tony Richards asks, T-Money in the chat here makes a really good point. It says Resistance never gets hit by anyone, so BB-8 will never get a chance to counter. That's actually a great point to kind of help you out with your question. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Here. Let's see. I had another good one up in here. All right, this one comes from Grande Lizard 467. He's asking, should I gear 12 my entire Resistance team for future content? I guess we need to know which Resistance characters you have, but I would think if you have to gear 12 somebody, I would definitely do Poe. And all the Resistance team have like a core 3, right? You're always going to use Finn, Poe, and Resistance Trooper. So I would probably do those 3 first. And R2, of course. I would do R2 first. And then probably Poe, depending on which ones you use. I would probably not gear 12 pilot. I don't think that's necessary. And unless you just love her ship, which I don't really see anyone using ever in my shard. Thoughts on gear 12ing the Resistance as an entire faction?
I mean, I just don't think about it.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. Honestly, it's actually not that bad of an idea. I think that the squad has actually got some merit to it, and I think eventually you will see more Resistance characters, like we said earlier. So I think there is something there. But as far as gear 12, I mean, again, it depends on what else you have, so it depends on where you're at as far as farming in the game is concerned. Depends on how deep your roster really is. If you're sitting pretty, then yeah, okay. I mean, I would go for Resistance, but again, right now Resistance is not the meta, so it really depends on how the rest of your team is. You don't really want to spend all your resources on a guess if you're still building up your roster and you don't necessarily have the most developed roster in the world.
Yeah, I don't even think Finn's really required either. He's so tanky, All
right, I got it that time.
So I don't think Finn's required. I would definitely do R2 and Poe first if you use R2, which you should be using R2.
Pretty good rewards here. You get a Zeta, you get 3 Omegas, some purple mats, and 500k credits, 150k ship credits. Not bad.
Okay, let me ask you this: if you refresh the node, you get this entire drop again, or is it just the shards?
Well, that would change a lot about the price, right?
Because if you're getting, if you get a Zeta guaranteed, if anybody in the chat knows.
No, it's not.
If anybody in the chat is
it's not a guaranteed Zeta. No, you're going to get much worse rewards. You'll get.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah. So it's not like that. But I don't know. 800 is a lot. So something to think about. But you know, you can get it through the pack too, and with the pack, there's a shot to get a full 100 shards. So you have a shot here with this capital ship pack, the home 1 pack. You'll get anywhere from 45k to 135k credits, plus a chance to get 10 blueprints to 100 blueprints. So, I mean, theoretically, although the likelihood of it happening is pretty much impossible, you can just pull one pack and get all the shards that you need to get the Chimera to 7 stars. So, because you only need 100 blueprints, right? So.
Yeah, the worst case, I mean, it's a lot, but I mean, you're only gonna have to pull a maximum of 9 packs. So you get 15 from that event. That gives you 15. So even if you pull 9 10s, it's going to give you enough to get that ship 7-star. So you're looking at what 10,000 crystals, which is a lot, but I mean it's nowhere near the amount of crystals needed to like 7-star veteran smuggler Han. You know.
Right. Exactly.
So you're probably looking at about. I mean, if you pull 10 every time, it'll cost you what, $80?
Yeah, something
probably
like that.
To do it.
Yeah.
That's up to you guys, but.
All right, next question.
That's really all the questions we have. Lots of good chatter, you know. Rom's sitting here dropping the knowledge on me.
Okay.
He says your Gear 12 fin is good because it gets a lot of extra potency. Oh, here's a question from Josu Garcia. I have Gear 9 Ezra, Gear 8 Hera, Kanan, Chopper, Zeb, and Sabine. No Zetas. Do y'all think those are good enough for 7-star Thrawn? And which of the 6 should I leave out? Personally, I think Ramon here is a Sabine fan. I like to use Chopper. The general consensus is you use everyone, and then the 5th slot's either Chopper or Sabine. You're going to have lots of chances to try it. And in Gear 9, Gear 8, like the guys you have is plenty. There were people doing it. You know, some of the more veteran players, you know, with better mods, where we're actually completing the event with Gear 7 characters, Gear 7 to Gear 8. But I mean, lots of attempts. You know, you got to get the perfect RNG. So I think I would try to maybe get Ezra to Gear 10. Maybe take if you take Ezra to Gear 10, you could probably get through it with a little bit of luck. You might have to try a few times, depending on your mods and stuff like that. It's been a while since I did it, so I don't remember. It seemed like it was one of the more difficult legendary events, unlike this last one. I thought that BB-8 one was pretty easy.
Yeah, the BB-8 one was pretty easy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, I think the Grand Admiral Thrawn one is probably one of the harder ones. You know, I went in there with, you know, I think like mostly Gear 9 and Gear 8 characters, and you know, it literally took me about like an hour and a half to get it done. I mean, I had to just keep doing the battle, and over again, I just kept trying, and eventually RNG, you know, won out for me, and I ended up, you know, getting it done. But it definitely got to a point there where I thought to myself, like, I'm not going to be able to do this unless I, you know, buy more gear and get it done. So I actually ended up going in and, you know, buying a little bit of gear. Fortunately, it did end up working out in the end, but you know, it cost a little bit. So
yeah, I've talked to dozens and dozens of people about this. I don't think there's an ideal team. Everyone has their own way to do it.
I'm not against the Chopper. I mean, I run Chopper too. Mine is I don't run Kanan. Like, so for me, Kanan is the one I exclude from the squad because up until this point, I didn't really believe in Kanan at all. I didn't think his abilities were really that great, and he was probably the one Phoenix character that I would have stayed away from altogether. But after the Zeta now, you know, I kind of actually like him a lot more, being that he, you know, has the cleanse now, and or like the improved cleanse now, and he's kind of you know, kind of more of an all-around character at the moment. They also increase his damage, which makes him a lot more intriguing. You know, to me, the lack of damage plus the single target, you know, cleanse really just didn't make me too excited. You know what I'm saying, to be honest with you. So, you know, he's okay, but the choice to me would be between, you know, either Sabine or Kanan, and to me, Sabine would win out over Kanan anytime.
Yeah, I think it was Tim Fisher in the chat was saying he leaves out Kanan as well. I'm not a big Kanan fan, but it's
the counter attack is really the loss, right? Because you're losing the group counter attack. So it's got its pluses and its minuses, but I'll tell you, Sabine does do a nice amount of damage, and her kit is pretty interesting as well. So I mean, you call her in with Ezra. I mean, you're giving yourself a shot anytime you call her in with Hera or Ezra for an assist. You have a shot to attack that character 6 times, and she's going to do damage to that character. So it's a much better chance of wiping out characters. I mean, like, to me, kind of piggybacking her as an assist character through the territory battles is what helps me get through those Phoenix battles without any problems. So I don't think I've lost the Phoenix battles once yet, except for did I lose? No, I don't think I've lost them once yet.
Yeah, I don't use Sabine. I leave Sabine out, and I breeze through it. But without Sabine, I'm really missing damage. So I mean, these I think the Phoenix battles, they generally take me 9 to 15 minutes to beat. So I mean, that's something to think about. I mean, if you want to spend every week an extra 15 minutes on your Phoenix, there's a lot of people. I mean, especially in 2, 3, 4 months down the road, these TBs are going to be just a pain. No one's going to be interested in it anymore, and so you're going to want to build teams that just fly through it and get it done as quickly as possible.
And the way there is damage. Yeah.
So
listen, it depends on your school of thought, right? Like, do you prefer to be jacked up with protection and health, or to have a little bit of a squishier team and be able to do more damage, try to get through the battles faster? And it's like that in a lot of games. Like like I said, I also play other games besides this, and some people jack up their teams to give themselves as much defense and protection and all that stuff that they need to give their make their characters the strongest to kill. But then you sacrifice on the damage end of it. So to me, I've always been more of like I've always leaned more towards just jacking up your damage as much as possible to try to get the battle done as quick as possible. So that's just it's different. It depends on your school of thought, really.
All right, hold on. Chat Bear is asking. Hey, Bears, if you'll just retype it in the chat, we'll answer it. I think I missed one of his questions.
Okay.
All right, are you going after that Millennium Falcon?
I'm going after every ship, yeah.
Yeah. Let me know how it does for you in about, I don't know, 9 months.
Yeah, I mean, the Millennium Falcon seems like it's going to be probably a long haul, but I already had 20-something shards for the Millennium Falcon because I bought some of those Fleet Mega Packs at first. So I'm not that far from unlocking it. It won't be something that I use anytime soon, but I'll be able to unlock it here probably in a month or two, maybe a month. Let's see. All right, so I got to level up a mod and then do a fleet arena battle. So we have no more questions. I guess that's it for the folks. Chicago Bear says he had a question.
Yeah, let me see if I can. So who you gear 12 in next, man?
Me? Right.
Yeah.
Right. No, I actually changed my plan. I was going for Death Trooper. I changed my plan. I'm actually gonna gear 12 Nihilus next, and then after Nihilus, Ezra, and then I'm gonna do Death Trooper.
Oh. Ezra just needs 3 of those gold eyeballs to get to 12. He's been on my list for a while. I just keep putting them off.
Yeah, well, like I said, I mean, now that he's got that Zeta, it's really kind of making him, more of a priority for me. So, yeah, I'm gonna get him to Gear 12, get him that Zeta, and I should be. In about 3 weeks, I should have Hermit Yoda unlocked, and then I'll be able to try them. You know, the second I unlock Hermit Yoda, I'm going to give him a shot in Arena. You know, I'm going to try to get him as geared up as high as possible. Try to get him to gear 11, just see if I can run with him. But yeah, that's a few weeks away, so I have some time to try to farm Ezra's gear. But what was Chicago Bears' question?
I don't know. He's kind of disappeared on us here. There we go. He says, I'm going for 7-star Grand Admiral Throne tonight. I'm at 5-star. My Phoenix are all gear 8, except Chopper is at gear 11. I can take 2 Phoenix to gear 9. Who should I take to gear 9? And who should I use?
If everybody else is a gear, I would say Ezra and... I'd say Ezra and Zeb.
Yeah, I would probably agree with you. If you got a gear 11 Chopper, I think that's what you said. Yeah, if you got gear 11 Chopper, man, just stack as much speed as possible on him, and he can soak up massive amounts of damage because he'll be taunting, you know, so often. And yes, it's only a 1-turn taunt, but if you time it right, he can eat up all the damage. He'll get protection up, and then he'll eventually just regain health protection due to his unique. So I mean, I like your style, your gear 11 Chopper. I like it. Chopper's where it's at. He's awesome. And a lot of you guys that did this event before to probably get 5 stars, it will be a lot easier now if you use Chopper with that assist. If you put that Omega on it, because again, it's 30% chance he counters, and then when he counters, he gives buffs and reduces his cooldown. So
I felt the difference.
I
felt the difference just now when I used the Phoenix Squad in TB. I mean, it was definitely having the assist there was a huge bonus.
Yes. So, and that's all the questions I got, man, from the chat tonight.
Okay. So, any final thoughts? You know, what's your synopsis on all the new stuff? What's your synopsis? I mean, let's talk a little bit actually before we sign off here about guild wars or territory wars, they called it. What are your thoughts on that?
Again, I'm terrified to have more things to do as a guild officer, so I've kind of just actually not even looked into it that much because I don't want to cry myself to sleep tonight.
Well, I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be. I mean, there's not much information about it. I mean, you know, we don't know, you know, what it's really going to be about yet. But it's going to be some form of, you know, guild versus guild content where you'll actually be able to, you know, face, you know, another guild individually. So I don't know how that's going to work, or how they're going to tally the points, or if it's going to be galactic power related, and you're going to have to, you know, fight people that are, you know, in your, you know, galactic power range, or, you know, I don't know. I don't understand anything about it, but it should be interesting. I mean, it looks cool. It's something that people have been begging for since the launch of the game. So it's something that you know, I've been asking about since the first time I, you know, started talking to EA and, you know, really you know, getting, you know, access to information from them. So I mean, I didn't think it was going to happen ever, honestly, but it seems like that time has come, and you know, it's something they were talking about for a while. I guess they really just had to get their heads wrapped around the logistics of how it was going to work and how they could really make two guilds compete against each other. And I'm sure as we find out more information about it and how it works, it'll be something that's interesting. But definitely very excited. You know, obviously all this new content, you know, makes for, you know, really exciting. You know, future for the game. So, but any thoughts on the on territory wars or the new ships being released? You know, the Chimera ship itself, that ultimate ability, man. I mean, it packs a punch. You know, I got to tell you, it's definitely pretty cool.
Well, because it just one shots any ship, right? Is that basically what it does?
Yeah, it's basically like annihilate for a ship. So it's
Well, it's pretty cool. So I mean, you get that and Poe together. I mean, Poe is you gear 12 of them and start slapping those Omegas and extra gear on him. He's basically a one-shot ship too. So I mean, you got that'd be pretty cool. Just basically 2 annihilates in a ship battle is pretty cool. He looks like he's going to be a very, very good capital ship. I'm gonna have to get off my Akbar train finally after ships were released. But I'm pretty excited. I don't think I'm going to go all in on the 7-star home one, but I will have a 6-star Chimera. Pretty confident I'll have ships to be able to do that.
Yeah, I think that's the route I'm going to. I mean, we'll see. I mean, again, you know, I'll see how I feel about it. You know, we're going to find out here in a couple days when people unlock the ship. You know how great it really is and how much of a difference it makes in ship arena. And as you know, some of those or some of that information will help influence my decision whether it's worth it to make an investment or not. You know what I'm saying? But it also depends on, you know, how much of an investment we're talking here. You know, again, it could be, you know, just $20, $30, which is not so bad. But I'm not looking to, you know, spend $100 or anything like that to get the Chimera.
No, if you are going to
not until ships,
packs,
not until ships is a much bigger deal.
Yeah, go ahead and plan on spending $80. If you get lucky, great. Just buy some stun cuffs with the leftovers. But I don't know. I would go ahead and bank on getting 10 every time, just to be safe.
Oh yeah, that's probably going to be the case. I mean, you can never expect out of those packs to get anything but the minimum. You're gonna 90% of the time you're going to get 10. And if you get lucky and you're that one guy that gets 100, the first time you pull it, I mean, God bless you. But you got to go into anything like that expecting that you're gonna need to spend your money, because again, you're not going to go in there and buy one pack. You're going to go in there to get the whole thing to 7 stars. So if you're starting to make the investment, you're going to finish the investment, and again, you got to make sure that it's worth it in the first place. But we're going to go ahead then and bring the stream to a close. I appreciate everybody coming out to check out the live show this week. Again, 25 live shows. Feels like a half a year to you yet?
No.
I can't believe it. Yeah.
No, that's crazy, man.
Yeah, but great stuff. Lots of cool stuff to talk about. We'll discuss the Chimera. I'm sure I'll have it next week on the next live show. You'll see some videos coming throughout the course of this week from me. Working on trying to get some more content out regularly for you guys. I'm sorry that you haven't seen it on a regular basis, but besides the live shows, I'm going to try to get a few videos out every week during the week as well. So we'll definitely make sure I get something for you either tomorrow or the day after. But tomorrow I'll be on the Real Sith of Genius live show for Jedi Academy, so you can check that out. That'll be starting at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Tomorrow I'll be joined by possibly Warrior and a few other YouTubers as well, so that's always a good time. And like I said, definitely if you want to chat with us at any time, you can come over to thealliancegaming.com and join our Discord, or check out any of the tons of great content that's created by other members of the Alliance as well. But as always, may the Force be with you guys, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for staying with us.